Boom! It's your boy Jimmy. Oh, whoa, no, 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 no. Straight from y'all, street to Wall Street. Anybody tells you that money is the root of all evil doesn't have any. Whoa, no. Dude, wake up, get that girl hyped up just to get a little bit of. Only woman in the morning wanna turn on his back and quick. While the average man's looking at curves like she fine as heck. I'm over here looking at tails and wicks like buy or sell. I left the chaos for the market. Nah, I don't want a street spot, I want a stock pick. I know the style got flair, trigger my stop losses, but I ain't got time for distractions. My Vivo with PFs crossing, rich with high trades, I'm pushing high keys, strategies and plans to make grand. Still in my tank top, Batman pajamas, house slides in about 5. Hot picks of the day, cause I like the way the dial moves. For hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottom. Now I know some folks don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my Mac day? You see we're different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dogs, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, I grow at the market. Waking up with the future, stacking up some commas. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. They used to watch me move then, roll style. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Used to run from the ATF and the car. Now I run down ETF and make profit. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit. I watching them candles while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. See me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. He said today I'm taking the risk, they got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call the short squeeze. You get the drop, she pulls the trigger and shuts it down. If she stays on my watch list, I might have to keep her, but I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Go ahead, be bold. Trader, get your squad head. I'll double top that guy, head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over, cause I see big moves in contracts. If I say I made 1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get calls, get split, get delisted and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, eat my bacon and eggs, light up watching them candles, while I'm still in my sandals. They used to watch me move them packs, bro, stop it. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq, profits. Used to run from the ATF and the cops. Now I run down ETFs. Hey, my plug that we don't trade. Right on what we do, man. Hey, Friday, Suge, Mike. What we doing, dog?
Make profit.
That TTG money gang.
We making profit.
We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Listen, I hope you guys all had a wonderful, fantastic, amazing Thanksgiving. I really hope you did. I had a wonderful time with family. Hope you guys really had a nice holiday. You guys got all your Black Friday shopping out of the way. You're coming up on Cyber Monday. There's a lot going on here this week, but it's not just about Cyber Monday, okay? It's also the start of a new month, the start of the month of December. And typically, the month of December tends to be a strong month for the overall market, but we're not off to a good start. Futures are down 0.5%. Bitcoin's taking a big, fat, old stinking dump, okay? So the rally that we had last week, about a 5% rally last week, do we actually stick and hold that rally? Or is that just a leg of distribution before the markets eventually sell back off, as that rally to the upside was on really low volume? I'm going to tell you exactly what I think this market is going to do, not just tomorrow, but I'm going to lay out for you what I think this market does over the course of the next couple of weeks. And we have to now start to plan for the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting coming up on December 10th. It is now widely anticipated that we are, in fact, going to get a rate cut at that December meeting. We had a little bit of a whipsaw type of action over the last couple of weeks on whether or not they were going to cut or not, but we are back now to over 80% likelihood of us getting a 25 basis point cut at that December meeting. So hope you guys are ready to, get back down to business. You got your turkey hangovers are all out of the way. The stuffing, the cranberry, the sweet potatoes, all the good stuff. But are ready to get down to business and make some money here this week. All right. We had a short week last week. A lot of people took Wednesday off. Markets were closed on Thursday, half day Friday. A lot of people took that day off too. But we got ourselves a nice full week coming up here. Let's make them all count, guys. Let's start the month of December off on the right foot. Folks, my name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader at True Trading Group. I'm thrilled to have you guys all here with us tonight. You understand TTG literally exists to help you learn faster, trade smarter, and to profit sooner. It's exactly what we're going to do on this live stream tonight. Before we get started, of course, I do want to thank and just let you guys know that TTG is very proud to be powered by our partners at the Nasdaq, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, DataBento, and of course, Unusual Whales. You see, True Trading Group is an award-winning platform, having received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. This is a platform that is built on education that's backed by experience, strategies that are proven through decades of success, and tools that are all fully customized to you, the individual user. It's all built around you. So no matter who you are, no matter what you trade, no matter how much money you have or don't, no matter how much time you have or don't, True Trading Group exists to help you guys make money. That is what we plan on doing here tonight on this live stream. Members of TTG are part of something real special. I couldn't be any more proud to be on this journey with each and every single one of them. So I hope you're ready to roll your sleeves up tonight and get down to business. If this is your first time hanging out here on the True Trading Group YouTube channel, do yourself a favor, subscribe. Okay? Then turn on those notifications. Make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams, because I'm dropping golden nuggets, trade ideas, and free lessons and education on a regular basis. And then, of course, go ahead and smash that like button, show some love, so that we continue to do these incredible live streams. First, I want you to do is make sure you're watching this video live. You should see a red dot next to the word live on the bottom left. If you don't, that means you're watching delayed. So to fix that, click that word live. It'll bring you right up to speed, and then you should see that red dot. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Why should I pay attention to anything it is that he discusses on this channel? And it's a fair question. The reason why I think you should pay attention to the stuff I talk about here, folks, is I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. It's my first job out of college. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then shortly after that, 2008 happened, the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash, but it was also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and the head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group now has over 10,000, I think nearly 11,000 members in 115 different countries. Truly a global community here, something for everybody. We day trade, we swing trade, we do long-term investing, We trade stocks, options, crypto, futures, you name it. We've got it. There truly, literally is something for everybody. So whether you are brand new and you're looking to get started, or you're an experienced trader, you're looking to take things to the next level, stick around. You guys are in the right place. Let's make some moves together. Let's make some money together. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and then we're going to get things started here. You know, there's one thing that I want to really point out here first before we get things started. And I'm going to come right out, and I'm just going to flat out say it, that I believe the pain trade is still higher in this market. And, it's tough. Someone might say, oh, well, yeah, but, futures are down right now. And the futures are down right now. And futures are down about a half a point, about a half a percentage point right now. We're trying to just stabilize a little bit. We've been selling off ever since really we kind of opened up. And Bitcoin's been selling off ever since the Asian markets opened up. You got Japanese bonds are crashing. Yields are moving higher in Japan. That's putting pressure on U.S. equities. We can talk about the correlation on why that is. Maybe that's a conversation for another time. It's a little bit more technical. I don't want to get all that technical. I just want to focus how we're going to make money this week. Okay. And there's very specific price action that I see maybe coming in this market. And there's very specific price action I'm going to be positioning myself for. We had a really big rally in the markets back last week. And, if you guys have been following this YouTube channel for the last several weeks, then you'll know over the last couple of weeks, the very end of October, I was on this very same YouTube channel. I told you guys that we're gearing up to get ready for a pullback into the month of November. Okay. And that pullback into the month of November that I felt was going to be a viable pullback, and that I still am bullish overall. We talked about that at the end of October. If this is your first time watching this YouTube channel, then obviously you weren't there for it, but they're right here on this YouTube channel. You can feel free to go back and check those out at any time. But those of you that have been here and loyal viewers of the YouTube channel, then you guys know we talked all about that. And there was one specific topic that I had mentioned over the course of the couple of weeks that had that pullback in the overall market. As you guys can see, when it was the end of October and we were first talking about getting a pullback into the month of November, it was right around here. It was these days right in here, these last couple trading days of October. And then you had this real nice pullback, about a 5% pullback off of the all-time high that took you back into some really big structure in the low 650s on the SPY. And you guys can see here, as I'm just showing you guys on the chart, you can see support, purple line, that's the 100-day moving average, support structure there from October, and support structure there from September. So a really big structural support level there that lined up with a moving average to give you a little bit more confirmation in that level. And that level stuck and it held. But I'm going to be honest with you. This Thursday, I thought that level was in jeopardy of breaking. And, we were talking a lot inside of True Trading Group and to all of our members, because we're live with our members every day. The moderators and I collectively as a group, right? We share our screens with our members. The moderators and I trade in front of everybody live. You guys are with us from pre-market all the way through into the close. We answer questions, provide market commentary, analysis. We send out alerts when our orders execute on our trades. We tell you where our orders are before they actually execute. So members get a lot more insight, and they get guidance and, kind of a walk through literally every single trading day. But we talked a lot inside of True Trading Group about the fear greed index. And while the markets were experiencing about a 4% to 5% pullback from its all-time high, you had the fear greed index get as low as 7 and 8. Now, to put into perspective, the fear greed index goes from 0 to 100. 0 being absolute maximum fear. Literally, a zombie is breaking through your window and is gnawing on your spouse, and you don't know what you're going to do, and the zombie apocalypse is actually here. That is 0. Then you have 100, which is the maximum extreme greed, which is, Fartcoin goes up 1,000,000% and your $100 turns into, $1 billion, and you become, one of the richest people in the world. Okay. That's the fear greed index. It's 0 to 100. Anything under 25 is a reading of extreme fear. Okay. I think 26 to 45 is fear. 45 to 55 is neutral. 55 to 75 is, or 74 is greed. And then 75 to 100 is extreme greed. We got as low as 7.8. We had an extreme fear reading. Okay. We had an extreme fear reading when the markets were 4 to 5% off their all-time high. That is not, it's just not what you see when the markets are about to crash. It's not what you see. That is not what you see in a fear greed index when the markets are topping out. What you see on a fear greed index when markets are topping out is extreme greed readings as markets continue to make new all-time highs, and markets just get parabolic, and it just seems like there's nothing that can stop the market, and valuations get completely out of control, and people get to extreme greed, and people just don't care about valuations anymore. It's just the price goes up, so we have to continue to buy more. That's what you see when markets are about to turn. It's not an extreme fear reading. You have to realize that the last time that we had a reading that low of extreme fear, you want to know when it was? I'll tell you when it was. It was April. It was April when Liberation Day happened, and Trump held up that poster board with all the different tariff numbers on it, and the S&P dropped 15% in 3 days. That is when you got an extreme fear reading, 7 to 8 on that scale to the downside. And the markets had fallen into bear market territory. We were 20% off the high. We had fallen 15% in a matter of just a couple of days. That was the last time we had a reading of 7.8. But fast forward to, now just literally a week ago, and right here, we had an extreme fear reading of 7 to 8. Again, that's just not what you see when markets are about to crash. And now, even with this big rally that you've just experienced off of this support level, you would think that we would start to kick into a greed reading as people start to probably say, oh, that's it, we're going to make a new all-time high now, and all of a sudden you go to this greed. No, even with that rally that you see off that support level, those 5 big green candles back to the upside, the fear greed index is at neutral. It's at neutral. So we had a 4 to 5% pullback in the market. We got down to extreme fear. Then we got a nice 5% bounce back, and now we're at neutral. Guys, that tells me that the pain trade is still higher from here. And I still do believe that the trade that I think it's more likely than not that we see a new all-time high, not tomorrow. I don't even know if it happens. I don't even think it happens this week, to be honest with you. But as you fast forward a couple of weeks out, I think we're going to be talking about a possible new all-time high. I do. And, how this all kind of comes back together is the importance of you guys not making emotional decisions when it comes to your trading and investing. Okay. Now I've trimmed a couple of things in my long-term portfolio, right? I've trimmed Palantir. I've trimmed AppLovin. We actually have caught so far. I've trimmed Cisco. I've trimmed Palantir. I've trimmed AppLovin. And we've actually caught so far, we've caught the highs. We've caught the year highs on Cisco. We caught the all-time high on Palantir. We've caught the all-time high in App11. I will be circulating those shares back in to those names. Okay, I will be circulating those shares back into those names. But I have trimmed some of those positions. But this is where it gets into people being fearful and people trading with emotions and people reading all these people, what they say on social media, all these people that make you, try to scare the crap out of you, make you run around like your hair is on fire. You guys have to realize when markets go down, all it does is create volatility, and volatility is a trader's best friend. Okay. The volatility we've experienced over the last several weeks, the whole month of November was incredibly volatile. You saw a dramatic surge in volatility in the month of November. And all that means is stocks make bigger moves in shorter periods of time. And when stocks make bigger moves in shorter periods of time, it allows traders like you and I to be able to profit larger percentages in shorter periods of time. That's what it means. That's what it does. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I think this market is going to do as we sit here. I'm doing this live stream at almost 9 p.m. Eastern. S&P, ES right now, we're down 0.5 percentage point. Bitcoin's getting the crap kicked out of it. So I'm going to give you guys my whole watch list. I'm giving my game plan of exactly how I plan on making money this week. But you have to take the emotions out of your trading and investing. It's a difficult thing to do. I get it. But that is where the fintech platform that is True Trading Group becomes your greatest weapon. Mari, that's our AI. Okay. Market analysis, research intelligence system. Okay. Mari, MARI. And we have been at the forefront leading this AI revolution here when it comes to trading for retail traders. We consider True Trading Group the Bloomberg terminal for retail traders. It's not just a chat room with courses and trade alerts. It is a full-blown fintech platform with tools and resources through our partners at the Nasdaq, our partners at Benzinga, our partners at TradingView and OpenAI and Unusual Whales. They allow us to build these tools and resources by using their data in our AI technology that received us the Benzinga FinTech Award in 2024 for best AI analysis tool. We are actually three finalists for 3 awards this year. So that is what is, I think, allowing so many of our members to be able to make more money, more consistently, and in a much shorter period of time. It's because they're using these tools and resources that allows them to take the emotions out of it and gives them institutional grade analysis, market insight, and trading guidance. And I think that is what's been the real difference maker. We survey the crap out of our members. We pull a lot of our members. My business partner, Adam, is a big data guy. He loves to survey our members and everything else. And we have seen since the launch of our AI ecosystem, that is True Trading Group, and this launch of this fintech platform, we have seen a dramatic jump and shift in our members as far as the amount of money they're making and the consistency and profitability that they're doing it, and as well as seeing a decrease in the size of the losses that they incur while they're going through that process and while they are trading. And it's not a coincidence. And you don't have to take my word for it just because I'm saying it here on a YouTube channel. You should take our members' words for it. Because the reality is that members of True Trading Group are making money and they're becoming better traders at an incredible rate. And I'll prove it to you. Members of TTG that are on this live stream, if you are making money and you're becoming a better trader because of TTG, do me a favor right now and just go ahead and type the number 1. Go ahead and type the number 1. If you're making money and you're becoming a better trader because of TTG. Now, for those of you that are not members, I want you to pay very close attention to how many people you see type the number 1 on the side of the screen, because all of these people are your peers. If they can do this, so can you. There's absolutely no reason all of these people can sit here and tell you that they're making money and you're not going to be able to do so. They're not making money because they have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. And they're sure as hell not making money because they're luckier than you. They're making money because they have access to an award-winning fintech platform that gives them tools and resources that professional traders have access to that help them make better decisions, that increases their win rates, increases their profitability, improves their risk management, and improves just the consistency of the trading results that they're looking for. That's why you guys are all here. You're on this live stream so that you guys can make money in the markets. And you're hoping that I'm going to give you some kind of stock pick that's going to help you do that this week. And although I am going to give you stock picks, trades that I plan on making this week, ticker symbols, prices I'm getting in, prices I'm getting out, I'm literally going to give you that. I'm going to give that to you here today. But I can tell you that I don't believe that the reason why all of these people you see typing the number 1, I mean, listen, I'm a damn good trader. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, but I'm not the best trader in the world. And I don't believe that it's just my trade alerts are the reason why these people are making money. I don't believe that for a second. Because we have a lot of people that don't even necessarily trade like me. We have different styles: day trading, swing trading, futures, options, crypto, stocks, long-term portfolio investing, you name it, we do it all. There's 8 other professional traders that are moderators at TTG. Collectively as a group, the mods and I maintain a cumulative win rate of around 80% on all of our executions. We track our entries, our take profits, our stop losses, every green, every red, every break-even trade. It's all right there calculated for you. We're surrounded by talent. How can we fail? That's the mindset, man. That's the mindset. You know, this stuff is important. This stuff is real important. The time aspect. You guys are about to spend money. It's the holidays, right? Everyone on here is spending money between Friday and tomorrow and for the rest of this month. Everybody here is going to be spending money on the holidays. Why not make it back in the same month? Why not give yourself an opportunity to make back what you're going to be spending this month on the holidays? Why not? That's what our members are doing. I'm curious, how many people are on this live stream right now that are not members of True Trading Group? Can you guys do me a favor? Just type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. Listen, if there's enough people on here that are not members, I'm going to do something special for you guys. We're going to be launching our Cyber Monday sale, which starts tomorrow. But I want to go through and see how many people are on here that are not members of True Trading Group. Type the letters TTG. If there's enough of you, I'm going to do something special for you guys. I'm going to give you guys something special. So just go ahead and type TTG if you guys are not part of the group. We got Michelle. What's up? Joe. Glad. Yeah, perfect, guys. Yeah, there you go. Just go ahead and type TTG if you guys are not part of the group. Ricky, what's up, Ricky? How are you? Steven, what's up? What's up? We got NQ. Nice, NQ Trader. I assume you are a futures trader. Right? I assume you are a futures trader. Kadi, what's up? How are you? Beautiful. So we got a lot of members, a lot of people here that are not members of True Trader. So listen, here's the deal. So those of you that are not members, right? We are launching our Cyber Monday sale tomorrow. Okay. Now the membership to True Trading Group, it's normally $1,247. It's $1,247 usually. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to read this down through for you guys. All right. Your 1 year full membership to True Trading Group. Okay. That free member bonus is going to include our AI plus version of Mari. Mari is the AI that I just talked to you about that received the Benzinga FinTech Award for best AI analysis tool. It's $1,200 value. You guys are going to get that free for 1 year. Okay. Mari is going to come with real-time capabilities. You got live market data, option chain analysis, technical indicator breakdown, support and resistance identifying, your advanced features. You've got the FinViz market lens screeners, our own proprietary TTG triangle pattern scanner, level 2 order book analysis, earnings call transcripts, bull bear analysis, economic events calendar. You got different screening capabilities, short squeeze candidates, okay, custom technical filters. You guys can do so much with this stuff. You can set price alerts. You can Benzinga news feed and everything else you can tie into it. All right. So your upgraded market intelligence suite, which is integrated with all of our live data feeds, you're going to get the technical analysis, the options analysis, the smart alerts, and the market screeners. All right. This is going to be included with your year membership. Okay. Now, when you join True Trading Group, you also get a double your money back guarantee. Very simply means our membership, it's usually $1,247 for the year. So the way this works is if you cannot make the $1,247 back at least once after going through our courses, logging onto the website at least 50 times throughout the year, and actually trading with real money worth around 2 times that membership cost in total, collectively, if you can make the $1,247 back at least once, we give you back $2,494. That's how confident we are in the system and the platform that we've created that has helped, now around 11,000 members from 115 different countries. Okay, this is everything you guys are going to be getting included. Mari, the trading assistant, our chat room where the mods and I trade in front of you live, all of our real-time data, the professional charting tools, our trading education library, which has all of our courses, a simplified and expanded upon version of what I learned working at the fund in New York. You get access to our global trading community. You get access to TTG Social. TTG Social is our own social media platform. Okay. It's our own social media platform. You guys get to communicate with other members of True Trading Group, and you get to know that everyone that's on there is a verified member of TTG, so that you're not talking to scammers or bots or, there's no politics on there or any of that garbage. It's just straight trading, investing, trade ideas, chart analysis, and so much more. Okay. And you guys can start immediately when you guys join, and we have different membership options, or we have different, not membership options, we have different payment plan options for those of you that need to select or would like to select a payment plan instead of paying all at once, which is $12.47. So that's the price of our membership. But tomorrow starts our Cyber Monday sale. Okay. What I'm going to do here tonight is do not go to our website. Okay. Do not go to our website for the sake of a couple of hours, because at midnight we're launching our Cyber Monday sale. What I'm going to do here instead is anyone that is on this live stream, I see Refugio, we got This Is Laser, we got a bunch more people, None Your Business, what's up? A lot more people here that are not members. You're not a member of True Trading Group and you're on this live stream, you're in luck. Because what we're going to actually do is I'm going to offer the people that are on this live stream an even better deal than what we're going to launch on the Cyber Monday sale starting at midnight. I'm going to keep this private, though. We're not going to openly promote the deal that I'm going to offer people that are on this live stream. The Cyber Monday sale goes live at midnight. But if you are on this live stream, send a text message and we will give you and tell you the details and the price and everything else for those of you that are getting a special deal for being on this live stream with me tonight. Send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Again, that phone number is 1-888-621-2127. Okay, if we can maybe put that number on the bottom of the screen, guys, just so everybody can see, 1-888-621-2127. There you go. There's that phone number. Anyone that's on this live stream, if you're not a member, text that number now, and we will offer you a deal that is better than our Cyber Monday sale, which launches at midnight. But here's the deal. Adam, that's my business partner and the co-founder of True Trading Group. He has been working his ass off literally all weekend on some new tools and some new updates that we have coming out and some new capabilities with our AI ecosystem. So he's starting to doze off. So this is not something that Adam's going to be talking to people until, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Okay. Because there he is right there on the couch. He's tired. Okay. He's been working all weekend with the development team, building some new stuff within the AI that our members they all know about it. They're all excited about it, but because they know it's in development, but that's something we can talk about.
Yo.
There he is.
Hey, buddy. What's up? Ari, you want to say hi?
Bye.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Ari, what's up, buddy?
Hi. It's like it's like the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory over here. Just everyone's hanging out in the bed. Hey, seriously though, I have the Cyber Monday sale ready, so I knew you were going to do this tonight, obviously, but just not for long. So I know, but I'm supposed to be loud so that they can hear me. Probably like 30 or 40 minutes, and then I'm just going to push the Cyber Monday sale live.
Oh, okay, so we're not even going to wait till midnight. All right, cool.
No. Why?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so guys, so there you go. So those of you that are not members, okay, you got maybe 30, 45 minutes or so. So for being on here, you can send a text message to that phone number, and we'll give you the details. We'll give you the details of what our Cyber Monday sale is, and then here's the offer that we're going to give you here tonight for being on this live stream. And I have a question. Members of True Trading Group, how many of you have already made back? Type the number 1 if you've already made back the cost of the membership. Just type the number 1 if you've already made back the cost of the membership. And listen, those of you that are not members, those of you that are typing, you have to include your email and your first name when you text us. Okay, so anyone that's not a member, if you are going to text 1-888-621-2127, give us your first name and your email address. Okay, just text, hey, first name, email address, text it to that phone number, and we will give you guys, we'll tell you, here's our Cyber Monday sale, and here's the offer that we're going to give you tonight. That includes everything that's part of the Cyber Monday sale, but we're just going to give you guys a better price for being here. And then Adam's going to push that live in about 30 or 45 minutes or so. So guys, just send a text message now, name, just your first name, and email address, and we can get that information over to you. Okay. All right. And you guys are literally going to be talking to Adam. You just saw him. He's literally laying in bed. So he's going to be helping you guys out for the next 30 to 45 minutes. All right. So again, 1-888-621-2127. Text that number, and we will give you guys all the information. And that is this little something special that we're going to do for those of you that are on this live stream here tonight. So he's literally laying in bed with his family. So if you respond to him, oh, I need to sleep on it, and he tells you no, that's the reason why. If you need to sleep on it, then don't worry about it. You guys can just grab the Cyber Monday sale, which is still a great deal, but what you're going to get tonight is going to be a better offer. All right. So that is that. All right. Now, with that being said, let's roll things back on over to the charts. Let's talk about futures. We are down 0.5 percentage point. We're down 0.52% right now in the futures market. And I'll just draw out for you exactly what I think this market is going to do over the course of the next couple of weeks. The candles I'm about to draw for you are not necessarily just one day at a time. I'm just showing you the overall direction that I think we are going to see. I think we are about to now see, after this rip your face off rally that we had on a shortened week, on a low volume, low liquidity week, I think that rally cools off just a bit. And I think that rally cools off back down into the 670s. But then I think once you get down into the mid 670s, once you get down into this region, then I think you're going to see the markets find their footing and then start to move back to the upside. And then that is when I think you're going to be looking at the upward trend continuing to move to the upside. And you're going to see this nice little slow crawl to a new all-time high there as you go into the end of the year. And the Fed, the Fed cuts rates, and then see if we can get, that move back up there to test those all-time highs. So this is what I think we are doing. And guys, listen, just so the people that are trying to text in right now, Adam literally cannot respond without you opting in for us to communicate with you. So you have to text your name and email address in order to opt in for us to communicate back to you. All right. So again, those of you that are not members, okay, just text your name, your first name, and your email address to 1-888-621-2127. All right. The phone number is at the bottom of the screen in case you guys need it. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. So that's the price action I think we're going to be seeing here in the markets over the course of the next couple of weeks. Listen, if someone sends a text message with just with two words, how much, you're not going to get a reply. So you got to give us your first name and your email address, and we will give you guys all the information that you need for you guys to make a decision on whether or not you want to become part of the TTG fam. Okay. So again, your first name and email address, 1-888-621-2127. All right. So everybody on the same page. I think we get a little bit of a pullback, and then I think we find our footing there in the 670s and then back to the upside as we go through what I think we still could have a Santa Claus rally into the end of the year. Now, what could change that? If we get a real shock of economic data, if we get, if the Fed does not cut rates at the December meeting, then what I'm saying to you right now probably changes, right? I don't know if the Fed's going to cut rates or not. It's widely anticipated that they are. But if they surprise the market and they don't, then I would say we probably have a deeper pullback coming our way, but we can deal with that when that time comes. For now, with all the information I have in front of me, that is a price action that I think that we are going to see over the course of the next couple of weeks. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some specific levels. You will see 675. This level to me is a key one. Okay. This level to me is a key one. And why might that be? Because, let me just draw a full horizontal line straight across so I can just show you guys all the structure here. Okay. So here we have it. Call it 675 or so. And what you'll notice is we had resistance up there in the 670s in October when we had that prior all-time high. Then we gapped above it. Okay. Then we gapped above it. And then we pulled back into it and it started to hold support. then you broke it, then you gapped back above it, and then it became support. Then you broke back underneath it, and then it became resistance for these 2 consecutive days. Then it became resistance here, and then it became resistance here. Now you gapped above it. The point that I'm getting at is every time this level is engaged with, there's a reaction. There's an impact there. There's an effect on the share price, whether it be a low of the day, a high of the day, a gap entry point or a gap fill. There's a lot of structure around this level in the mid 670s. So what I'm looking for is this rally that we just experienced last week with low volume on a short holiday week. I think it cools off just a little, get back into this area, and then you get the 50-day moving average starts to work its way up here, and then you get a pullback right into that 50-day, and then I think you bounce from there, and then I think we can try to make a move back up towards those all-time highs. So we're looking for pullbacks early and then finding support in the mid 670s to look for some more upside. All right. That's what we're going to look for there with regards to the overall market. Let's touch on what's going on real quick with Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin getting dumped on here, guys, back to 87K. Okay. So and we actually, broke underneath 87K. Okay. So we are seeing a lot more of these forced liquidations. I had covered this with you guys over the last couple of weeks. This liquidation you're seeing in crypto is a forced liquidation. These are people that are literally getting forced liquidated. It's like a margin call. In the last hour and a half or so, this is actually old. I got this data right before we went live on this live stream. So this is about an hour old. 177,000 traders have been liquidated in the last few hours, worth $527 million. This leverage blowout continues. We had a little bit of a relief bounce last week in crypto as the rest of the markets bounce back. But crypto has really been a staple for the risk on, risk off trade. And this blowout in all these highly leveraged positions continues. And I am still not sold that Bitcoin has put in its low for this move. I actually think Bitcoin still has more downside. And I think you might see Bitcoin into the 70s. And if I see Bitcoin into the 70s, you're going to see me go ahead and start to buy some in my long-term portfolio. I'm probably going to buy some Bitcoin if I see like the mid 70s. So if I see like a 75K, 76K, somewhere in that region, I'm going to probably add a little bit to the long-term portfolio. That's a good enough spot. There's enough structure support there where we can go ahead. And I think that's enough of a blow off top. Maybe momentum overshoots it. Even you guys know, Bitcoin momentum gets pretty crazy. It's notorious for overshooting levels, but there's a wonderful support level down there in those mid to low 70s. And I'll be a buyer down there if and when we do get there. Okay. So I think you still see a lot of that leverage unwind in Bitcoin, but you're also seeing something else that's right now, the S&P and Bitcoin have a very, very similar chart right now with the Asian markets open, dump crypto, and then futures market open, and then you're seeing U.S. equities move to the downside as well. So they are trading pretty much, pretty close together. I think that's why you're seeing some pressure right now in the futures market. But the other reason why I think you're seeing some pressure in futures market is what's going on in Japan. You're seeing Japan bonds dump, which means yields are moving higher. The 2-year Japanese bond actually just reached the highest level as its yield, reached the highest level it's been since 2008. And as yields move higher in Japan, as now they're starting to get worried about the possibility of Japan central bank raising rates, that puts at jeopardy what you've all probably read about on social media about the Japanese yen carry trade. That puts that in jeopardy. That could also sometimes force some selling pressure and force some selling of other securities that gets thrown out of whack when that Japanese yen carry trade kind of gets upset structurally. And I think some of that is also happening as well. So those things, Bitcoin leverage blowout, Japanese bonds surge, bond yields surging. I think those two things combine to give us a little bit of a pullback like we talked about and give the futures a little bit room to cool off back into the 670s. And then we can look to try to buy that pullback. Okay. Then we can look to try to buy that pullback. So I think that's the catalyst to give us the pullback. And then we can try to find our footing with some structure there with the overall market. Okay. Individual stocks that we're going to be looking at. I have a couple of longs. Okay. I have a couple of longs and I have a couple of shorts. Okay. And again, guys, if you are not a member of True Trading Group, one more time before I go into this list, You only have a few minutes left here. Just send a text message if you guys are interested. The Cyber Monday sale kicks off in about 20, 30 minutes. If you're on this live stream, we're going to offer you an even better deal than the Cyber Monday sale. So text us with your first name, your email address. We'll tell you what about the Cyber Monday sale, and then we're going to offer you a better deal. Okay? Text us your first name and your email address to 1-888-621-2127.
Yeah.
That's Adam.
Just a quick shout out. I want to say what's up to Jean-Michel. What's up to Christopher? What's up to Beverly? What's up to Michelle and her boyfriend Jeff, who are both texting me at the same time? I don't know. I think they're in the same place. What's up to Moyad? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wow, there's a lot coming in. Lillian, Ronnie, Phil.
That's excellent.
Charles. You're talking to a real person, not like an AI bot.
Beautiful, man. I love it. Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, we are. So I'm trying to go as quick as I can. So I told everyone, I introduced myself, and then I gave everyone a link to the actual checkout page with the instructions to not buy anything, but to go there and just look at what the offer is and then come back when they're done.
Very cool. Excellent. Yeah, that's great, guys. So like I said, you can text in right now. You'll talk to Adam directly. That's 1-888-621-2127. Again, the phone number is at the bottom of the screen. We'll give you information you guys need, and you guys decide if you want to become part of the TTG fam. 11,000 members from 115 different countries. Winner of the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool in 2024. All right, so there's that. All right, let's get into the individual stocks that are on the watch list. We are going to get run through this. You know what? Just for one more time, I love a party. Members of True Trading Group, if you guys are making money, very simple. Type the number 1 inside chat. So anyone that's on this live stream that is not a member, just pay attention to how many people are going to type the number 1 and then send that text message with your first name and your email address. Again, members, type the number 1 if you're making money with True Trading Group. All right. So let's take things on over here. First and foremost, and those of you that are not members, you should be paying attention to the chat to see how many members are typing the number 1. Well, I go ahead and I pull up Apple, because Apple is one of the stocks that's going to be on my watch list today. Now, I have been tracking the Black Friday sales figures. I've been tracking those Black Friday sales figures, and they're solid. They're solid. They're not amazing, but they're solid. Okay, they are. The numbers are solid. They're not incredibly amazing, but they're solid. And we'll see as we get more color with regards to Apple and Apple products. But Apple has recently broke out to a new all-time high, and it's been consolidating above that prior break. Whenever I see a stock that makes a new all-time high and then consolidates above a prior break, you've got to pay attention to it. And while the market gives you a little bit of a pullback, and that's why we want to focus on Apple. We want to focus on Apple to see, is there relative strength where you stay above this level? Because I expect the market to pull back. So while the market pulls back, if Apple can hang out in the mid 270s, then once the S&P reaches the support levels that we spoke about, and then I think the markets move back to the upside. If Apple is able to stay above the mid 270s while that pullback takes place, then once the markets reach those support levels, if Apple is still above that support, we're going to go long Apple, and we're going to look for Apple to push into the 280s. All right, so the support level we're going to be looking at here is going to be around 276. Now I have this line drawn on my screen already. All right, now what you'll see previous resistance, right? Previous resistance, then there's your new all-time high. And then once you broke out that new all-time high, you can see for 2 days, we're trying to now stabilize and consolidate and stay above it. I want to make sure that we still stay above this level, right? I want to make sure that Apple does something that looks like this, while the markets give you a little bit of a pullback. And then when the markets do eventually find support, then I'm going to look for Apple to continue back to the upside. So that's what we're going to look for there with regards to Apple. So mid 270 support on Apple, stop losses probably 273. And we'll look for Apple to push into the 280s for that new all-time high. Okay. But again, I'm expecting a pullback in the overall markets first. So you don't jump the gun on this. Wait for the markets to find support and then look to see, is Apple still above the support level? If it is, we can go ahead and take that trade. Now, I'll keep it with I have 2 longs and 3 shorts. So we're going to go back to the other long, and that's going to be Palantir. I think Palantir has done a really nice job here, kind of pushing to the upside. And it just feels to me like Palantir still has a little bit more room here before it runs into a pretty significant resistance level that's up here in the low 170s. Okay. So low 170s resistance there on Palantir. You guys can see here drawn on my screen. You can see support, broke underneath it, resistance. I just feel like Palantir has a little bit more room. Not much, maybe a couple of bucks back to the upside. And I think there's a decent support level there in the mid to high 160s. And if Palantir, again, can show relative strength, if Palantir can hold support in the high 160s while the markets give you a pullback, then there's going to be an opportunity there for us to maybe go long around 167 with a stop loss under 165, 164 and a half, and look for a push to 171, 172. But again, it's going to be a relative strength play. Don't jump the gun. Wait for the SPY to give you that pull in, find support, then look for Palantir to move back up to the upside and show relative strength. All right, these are going to be 2 relative strength related plays. All right, now let's get on over to the short side. I think NVIDIA still has more downside. Okay, I think NVIDIA is actually over the next several weeks, maybe the next couple of months, I think NVIDIA is headed at the minimum into the 160s and at the absolute worst into the high 150s. Okay. So what I'm looking for here, I think that I've seen enough where I believe that NVIDIA has double topped at its all-time high. And now you've got just this nice little downtrend that's kind of in play right now. They had great earnings. The stock still sold off. Then you had all of the Alphabet Gemini 3.0 launch, and that's put pressure on the OpenAI related AI team. And you've seen a real breakup of, there's 2 different teams now. There's the OpenAI team and there's the Alphabet team. Here, I'll give you guys a couple of ticker symbols. You're going to want to write these ticker symbols down. I'm going to give you, this is Team OpenAI. Team OpenAI is NVIDIA, Microsoft, AMD, CoreWeave, Oracle. That's going to be Team OpenAI. Now I'll give you Team Alphabet. Google, Broadcom, that's AVGO. And then I'll give you the other ticker. I'll give you ticker symbols because some of you guys might not be familiar with these other companies. CLS, LITE, and TTMI. That's Team Alphabet. So again, Team OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, AMD, CoreWeave, Oracle. Team Alphabet, Google, AVGO, Broadcom, CLS, LITE, TTMI. These are now your 2 teams. And everything that happened with Alphabet and how Alphabet was able to train Gemini using their TPUs, and it looks like, oh, they don't need to be trained necessarily. They don't need as much of the NVIDIA's GPUs. They can do it cheaper. They can do it. NVIDIA is completely vertically stacked. Alphabet, excuse me. Okay. So that put a lot of pressure on the OpenAI related trade. Meta's kind of in the middle. Meta's like, you know what Meta is? You know when you go to the basketball court and you got a pickup game going, right? But you're short a guy, and you got this one guy that hops in, and then somebody's got to leave, and the other guy then hops to the other team. And this guy can hop back and forth from team to team. Okay, that's Meta. Meta goes back and forth. Meta just goes to shirts or skins, whoever needs the player, right? Meta just goes back and forth from team to team. Okay. But OpenAI and Alphabet, those are your shirts and skins, right? A little little basketball court reference, right? Yes, Meta is like LeBron. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Alphabet's like Steph Curry. Alphabet's like Michael Jordan. Alphabet's like Kobe Bryant. But Meta's like LeBron James. Another conversation for another time. All right. But let's get back to the charts. NVIDIA. Okay. NVIDIA. I think there's more downside here. Okay. So what I'm going to be looking at here with NVIDIA is actually we have Friday's lows. Okay. Oh, guys, real quick, members of True Trading Group, just real quick, before I get into my NVIDIA analysis, one of the viewers that is texting into us, okay, her name is Beverly, wonderful woman. She's talking to Adam right now, but Beverly wants to know, is the AI easy to use? So Beverly, I'm not going to answer that question. I'll let our members answer. Members, can you answer for Beverly? Is the AI easy to use? You can just say yes or no. So Beverly, just take a peek in the chat, and I'll have members actually answer the question for you. I think it's always better for the members to go ahead and answer the question rather than me answer it. I think, not that, obviously I'm very honest and transparent with you guys here, but if you're not a member of True Trading Group, I might not have earned your trust yet. I definitely will once you become a member. My word may not mean as much to you now if you're just a viewer on this YouTube channel. I understand you probably have seen a lot of different YouTube channels. It's hard to tell who's genuine and who's not, and I totally get and respect that. So whenever you ask questions about True Trading Group, like, oh, is the platform good? Are people making money? Instead of me just saying, yeah, the platform's great, I ask members. Let them tell you. Those are your peers, right? Those are people that are just like you. They want a live stream. They joined True Trading Group. Now they're using these tools. They're making money. I'll let them answer these questions for you. Okay. The other thing too, Beverly, about our AI, the way that Adam built it out is it's built on natural language. So Beverly, if you've ever had a conversation with another human being in real life before, you can very easily communicate with our AI. You don't have to memorize all these complex prompts. There's no coding involved. There's no setups that you need to do. It's just talk to it in plain English. Like we literally have members that literally say, hey, Mari, should I go long or short? Like we literally have, you can be that simple with it, or you can be complex if you do want. Okay. So like I said, just read some of the comments that are coming through from some of our members. All right. All right. So here we go. Back to NVIDIA. Oh man, Barrett. So Barrett, I'll just tell you, man. So Barrett, don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. You're going to be in really good hands. You're going to be in really good hands. The stuff is really easy to use. Yeah, see, there's a member right there. Jack of all trades says, talk to Mari just like you talk to a person. Ask questions and she'll walk you through whatever you want to know. It's true. It really is. It's true. Mari, just talk to Mari exactly the way that just whatever you want to know, just ask. Best trading platform in the world. Wow, the Spanish Fibonacci. Thank you. I appreciate that. I take great pride in that. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that very much. So yes, like I said, Barrett, I look forward to having you back with the TT fan, man. Mr. Dadbot says we were all skeptical and scared to begin with. And now you guys, are excited and take on, literally are grabbing the markets by the horns. All right. All right. So back on over here to NVIDIA. I think there's more downside, guys. I do. When I look here on the daily chart, I think we're going to get down into at least this support level that you have down here. Okay. I think NVIDIA is going to do something like this. Okay. I think you're going to do something that looks like this. I think we're going to drop down into here. So I'm looking for shorts here. I'm looking for NVIDIA to get down to at least 170, but really more like the high 160s. So I think that this little shed off in NVIDIA is just not quite finished yet. And we're going to look at, here's a nice little level that I want to show you guys. we're going to look right here. Okay. We're going to look right here back against like 177. That's going to be Friday's lows. All right. That's going to be low of the day from the 24th. And it's going to be this nice little area of resistance that we had here intraday on the 25th. So just a little bit of structure there around 177. And we're going to look for that short. And we're just going to look for NVIDIA to just continue its bleed out, right? Just continue this little bleed out and just get down into those low 170s. All right. So I'm still looking for a little more downside there on NVIDIA. All right, folks, again, if you're not a member, send that text, your first name, your email address. We had a real special offer for those of you that are on this YouTube stream. Our Cyber Monday sale goes live in about 15, 20 minutes or so. But if you're on this live stream, you're going to get an even better offer. It's going to be a private offer. We're not going to publicize it because it's going to be better than the Cyber Monday sale. So you're on this live stream, you guys are in for a treat. So text your first name and your email address if you want the information on it. The phone number to text is 1-888-621-2127. That number is the bottom of your screen. Next stock up that we're looking to short, you betcha, we're going to stay with that team OpenAI, and it's going to be Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has a nice support level that I think is going to start to act as resistance, and it's going to be in the mid 490s. So Microsoft, you can see here, you have support and support, little double bottom. Then you broke it. You sold off to the downside. After you broke it, you can see high of the day for 2 consecutive days. Now you're bouncing back into that area. What we're looking for here on Microsoft is for Microsoft to do something that looks like this. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that line. Let's put that back. I don't want to confuse anybody. All right. We are looking for Microsoft to do something that looks like this. Okay. So we'll look for Microsoft to reject off of these mid 490s and then get back into this zone that you see right there. That's 480. Okay. We're looking for us to get down to the low 480s, maybe the high 470s, but at least those low 480s. Okay. So let's look for resistance in those mid 490s and then head back down there to the downside. That's going to be Microsoft. And last but not least, this is a bit of a longer term trade. I think you're good to hold this. They have earnings coming up in, I think, a week or two. And I'm negative on Adobe. I am. I'm negative on Adobe. You know, I start to think about companies that I think are negatively impacted. Oh, that's a mistake. John, that's a mistake. I'm a Canadian, so the U.S. is expensive. I just bought the TradingView Black Friday offer and also need to trim on expenses this month. What you should do is you should cancel the TradingView offer because you get TradingView when you join your trading group. John, that's what you should do. So here we have Adobe. And I'm
one second. Hang on 1 minute. Talking to real quick, Phil Jazzy Bull, right?
Yeah.
And gave him the offer, and he's like, "No thanks, too many stipulations on the guarantee." And I said, "No problem, bud. Which one do you want me to? Which stipulation would you like me to waive?" And he's just like, "Wow, now you're so eager. That's fishy. No thanks. How about I get it free? I make money in a year. I pay you. LOL." First of all, that's illegal. Second, I'm not eager. I'm doing just fine. I'm confident in what we have.
Our refund rate is less than 2.5%.
Yeah, dude. So I'll put it in writing. Which one do you want me to waive, brother? Like, which one is giving you agita? I don't know. Anyways, you have a good night.
All right, so Adobe. So guys, like I said, I don't know, man. I'm cautious on Adobe. The stock has traded so poorly over the last 2 years, and when I think about businesses that might be negatively impacted, with AI, Adobe comes to mind. You have this big downtrend, that has been in for the last 2 years, and I look at what looks like a nice bottom that just got broken through. You kind of take a look here and you start to say to yourself, all right, well, here was support around like 330 or so. And then you broke underneath it, you rallied back into it, and then now it's becoming resistance. I kind of like Adobe here for more downside. And listen, if you're going to hold this for a swing, like here, the 2022 lows, I think are not out of the question. These lows from 2022, I do not think are out of the question, and that's 280. I don't think that's out of the question. And they have earnings coming up. So if you do decide to take this trade for a swing, your stop loss is above 330. The target's 280, or at least south of 300. But you're going to have to hold that position. In order for you to get that big of a move, you're going to have to hold it through earnings, and anything could happen with earnings. Earnings are a coin flip. They could be good. They could be bad. They could guide higher. They could guide lower. I don't know what the earnings are going to be. I just know that this chart makes me feel like there's more downside coming. And if they do have a bad earnings report, that could be the catalyst to give you the really big move back to the downside. So this is a short trade I'm going to be targeting, and I'm going to be looking at over the course of the next couple of days to get into it, right? And then look to kind of roll that back down and maybe get to south of 300. Okay. And there you guys go, man. There you guys go. All right. That is my watch list. That's what we're going to be focusing on here for this week. So like I said, Apple, Palantir, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Adobe, those are the stocks we're going to start off with. Obviously, I'm going to add to that as we wake up tomorrow. We see what happened in the futures. Does this gap down continue to accelerate to the downside overnight, or do we start to bounce back in the overnight futures session? Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking for. All right. We'll see what happens. We can do a quick check-in here back to Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin still just, 87K. Liquidations just continue. Liquidations just continue. Just continues, man. So that's it, folks. All right. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's my game plan here. Again, we're looking for a little bit of a pullback in the overall markets to start off. We get back in the SPY into like those mid 670s. Then I'm looking for us to find some structure and find some support there in the mid 670s, and we can try to move higher from there. All right. That's what I think. We'll see how it goes. We're going to continue to get more of the economic data that we have been kind of bottled up with the government shutdown. So we'll see how that goes. But we've got a couple
real
of
quick.
weeks.
It's 9:43 at 10 o'clock. I'm done. So all my dealings are over at 10 o'clock.
Okay. So there you go. So guys, you got about a little more than 15 minutes. All right. You got to get a little more than 15 minutes. So again, if you guys are interested in Cyber Monday sale is about to go live in about 15 minutes. If you're on the live stream, we'll give you a better offer than the Cyber Monday sale. You have to text your first name, your email address to the phone number on the bottom of the screen, 1-888-621-2127. And that's it. And then Adam's going to go to bed. Yep. I think it's going to be a great week, man. I think it's going to be a great week. So again, just to recap, in case you guys didn't write it down, break the AI trade into two different teams. You got Team OpenAI and you have Team Alphabet. Team OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, AMD, CoreWeave, Oracle. Team Alphabet, you've got obviously Google, GOOGL, AVGO, TTMI, LITE, CLS. Okay. Those are going to be the two different teams that we can break the AI trade up into. And we'll see if there's a real correlation trade that we can maybe have there, where these grouping of AI stocks now are strong or weak, at different times, depending on the specific news you get regarding ChatGPT versus Gemini, or if there is news around the industry as a whole, then that can see something that can affect all 10 of those stocks that I just gave you. But I've been looking at last week, ever since the Gemini 3 release, there's been a huge discrepancy. Team OpenAI has gotten crushed, and Team Alphabet has absolutely exploded. If you just look at the charts, right? I mean, you can just take a look. NVIDIA, right, has been straight to the downside. Microsoft has obviously sold off. AMD to the downside. Oracle is a dog because of their debt. CoreWeave has been a dog also because of their debt. But then you take a look at the other side. Alphabet, new all-time high. Broadcom, new all-time high. Okay. LITE, Lumentum, new all-time high. TTMI. Okay, that's TTM Technologies, new all-time high. CLS, okay, Celestica, trading right near its all-time high. So these stocks are not trading the same at all. Yes, they're both AI related stocks, or they're all AI related stocks, but they're not trading the same at all. There's been a real discrepancy here between concerns around anything involving OpenAI, and now this belief that Alphabet is going to become the winner in consumer AI, not OpenAI, not ChatGPT. And you've seen this bit of a rotation where Team OpenAI has gotten hit and Team Alphabet's moved to the upside. I want to see if that continues, right? I want to see if that relationship is something that we can trade on, for weeks to come. Oh yeah. Also, guys, just so I'm going to put this out there also. We're F-rated on the Better Business Bureau website, in case anybody was curious about that. And that's just because we refuse to be extorted by the Better Business Bureau. They're complete scammers. They won't remove our F rating because we won't pay like the $12,000 or $15,000 to verify like the level of the account. So we have an F on the Better Business Bureau. Do not use the Better Business Bureau. Go to Trustpilot. We have almost 3,000 reviews on Trustpilot. We're 4.5 out of 5-star rated. And go read them all. Read the 5-star reviews. Read the 1-star reviews. Read them all. All right, but we're nearly 3,000 reviews on Trustpilot, 4.5 stars. All right. So there you guys have it, folks. There is, I gave you some info there. Team OpenAI, Team Alphabet. And that's it. Those are my trade ideas. Okay. Those are my trade ideas for the week. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if we get this this continued sell-off. As we're back down to the lows of the session. We're down now 0.6%. So we have a chance of a really ugly open tomorrow morning. If this selling pressure accelerates, we've got a chance at maybe almost a 1% down open. Anything could happen in the next 12 hours. Market's literally open 12 hours from now. So, we go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, we'll see what futures looks like, and then we'll address it at that time. All right. But we're certainly starting off here to the red. Bitcoin continuing to dump and futures continuing to dump. All right. That's it, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Again, text us 1-888-621-2127. Need your first name, your email address, and we'll give you guys a better offer in the Cyber Monday deal. Have a wonderful rest of your night. All right. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and show some love. See you guys all later. Take care, folks.